Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here. Welcome back to Union Cross. We're going to be talking about the Moogle shop. Everyone's been talking about it. It's been on Discord, Reddit, pretty much everywhere, Twitter. A lot of people don't like it for some reason, and I kind of just want to say my version of why I like the shop so much, because I think it's amazing. I think it's something we've been missing in this game for so long. Guaranteed traits. Traits are so important on metals that it's almost ridiculous to try to run the game based pure on RNG for traits. Like, it's RNG to pull metals, get weapons. Every game has that, but something so viable as -60 ground, -60 aerial, some cases extra attack depending on the buffer, like Kyrie and Shion, it's kind of ridiculous to leave that to RNG. I know one thing is that nobody agrees with the prices. 5,000 jewels for one trait seems ridiculous, and it is pretty expensive, but if you look at the way I'm about to show you, I kind of want to give you an idea of why this is really good and how you can work towards it to keep the game sane from taking all your jewels. So I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what's going on. You can see the mouse on the screen here because I am mirroring my phone. So you guys see over here, if I click on it, my phone's cracked. Well, you just saw the screen flip. Look, if I push on quests, they both load up exactly the same. It's basically an emulator, not an emulator, it emulates my phone to the computer. It's just mirroring the phone. So, if you guys want to know what that is, there's a bunch of Google searches for it. I just thought I want to put the mouse there so you guys can actually see what I'm doing, and this way I can highlight a little bit better, because there's sometimes when that little ghost spirit thing doesn't really show on the screen, so it's better to have the mouse there. Anyways, so how do you access the shop? There's multiple ways to access the shop. You can do it from the main screen on the bottom left that I was just on. There's actually a little Moogle shop button there, and while you're in the shop itself, if you click on menu then shop in the bottom where you can buy inventory space, sell your inventory items and all that, there's a Moogle shop button. So the first two here are for VIP. You got 3 exchanges during that VIP week to purchase Strength 1000 plus 2000, and every week this is probably going to change. Eventually -60 ground, aerial, extra attack's going to be there, so it's going to be pretty easy for people who buy VIP to get 3 medals with good traits on them, which honestly, it's good. It gives more incentive for VIP players to buy VIP. Sorry, pay-to-play players to buy VIP, because VIP is now actually even more worth it. It's been pretty bad throughout the years, but this is really nice to see that they keep giving more and more to people who support the game. And anyone who's free to play can still do the same. You just got to save up a little bit more than usual. 5,000 jewels is not ridiculous. If you guys look, this is my main account. My free to play account's more of an example when it comes to it. But on my free to play account, or any of your guys' accounts, you basically have these medals. Actually, let's put on special attack. You guys have all those medals you get from single tickets or special tickets where they're the free draws and you can't do anything with them. So let's say you pull anti-aqua, but you absolutely can't do anything with... I don't know, I had extra attack on that. So anyways, let's say you pull anti-aqua out of those free tickets that I still haven't done yet. I gotta do that. I'm waiting for that inventory. Oh wait, inventory still did happen. Hey, bold video coming up. Anyways, so down over here, these tickets, the draw tickets, 450 tickets. In those tickets, I might end up getting a tier 9 that's really powerful, but I won't have any traits for it. If I get that medal for free, I can now go spend 5, 10, or 15,000 jewels in the Moogle shop to upgrade it. So let's say I want -60 ground on a medal. I click on -60 ground, select medal, and be like, alright, I pulled you and I got no traits on it. I'm going to put -60 ground on you. Boom. 5,000 jewels spent, nothing more, and now I have a powerful medal. I wouldn't go crazy and purchasing all the traits on a medal. You don't need to do that. Like, if you look at it that way, yeah, it's really expensive. 5,000 here, 5,000 here, 5,000 here. All through the whole thing is 25,000 jewels. Or, yeah, 25,000 jewels. It is pretty expensive, but I would not do that. What I recommend you guys do is build your Keyblade setups, pull for your medals, because the shop still gives you trait medals, VIP coins, so you can still trait your medals the normal RNG way, which is in the banners. Hopefully they don't take that away, but you get a trait medal per pull. You've got yourself VIP coins, which have trait medals and avatar boards. Whatever you get there, keep it. Build a Keyblade setup. Go try the quest. If you can't beat that quest, upgrade your strongest medal by adding -60 ground or aerial. Those are the 2 most important ones, and only depend on the enemy. If the enemy is aerial, then put -60 aerial. Don't put both of them because you're like, oh, I'm future-proofing the medal. What if you replace that medal in like a week or 2 or a month? You know what I mean? You don't want to put 5,000 jewels investment into it and then nothing comes out of it. This takes away a lot of the RNG. Again, people spend 30,000 or more to pull 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. They're getting more medals, but the end goal is to get more traits. And there is avatar boards with traits in them, but again, that spends jewels and that's RNG, where you're just, bam, 5,000, and now my medal has a trait that allows me to pass the quest. Don't try to perfect every single medal. That is not a good strategy at all. Just go with the metal. So let me go for an example here. Let's go to equipment. I'm going to go through one of my Keyblade setups. So let's say this is my Keyblade setup, and I'm facing a enemy hard level 5,000, level 6,000, and I can't beat it. But it's only like 300,000 bars of HP left, and it's an aerial enemy. I'll be like, you know what? Okay, I'll go spend 5,000 jewels to give my Aqua over here negative 60 aerial so it can actually beat the quest. Or my other Aqua over here is missing a plus 1,000, and that plus 1,000 can make the difference. Again, plus 1,000 wouldn't be a good example. They do. The more plus 1,000s you have, the more defense you can go through on an enemy. If your attack's higher than the enemy's defense, you'll be able to do damage, and that's why negative 60 grounds are so important, because it lowers the defense an enemy has. Well, you negative 60 of it. So go by what you need. Don't just upgrade every single one. Try the quest, upgrade your best metal, put the trait on there, negative 60 ground or aerial if they're missing it. Like if I was, again, facing an aerial enemy, I would put a negative 60 aerial here for 5,000 jewels on my Terra. But do it on the best metals and the metals you know are going to last a long time, like the foretellers. Put on those ones. You guys should only buy an extra attack for Kyrie and Shion. Do not buy them anything else. They don't need anything else except for extra attack, and then you're golden from there. And even that's not necessary because you can always just copy your metal. But the whole point is that don't try to get your whole setup with all the perfect traits. You're never going to afford it unless you buy a ton of jewels, and even then I don't recommend it. Just purchase the traits you need as you go and only on your best metals to let you pass those quests. That's it. Do not try to buy every single one. Now when it comes to VIP, it's a little different because 3,000 jewels for 3 plus 1,000, that's really good on one metal. So that could clean up really nicely. But when you're looking at the 5,000 jewels ones, just be smart about it and you won't go broke. Again, I can go for that poll with you guys. So let's go say I do a 10 poll right now and I get something amazing out of it. So these tickets will come back too. Hopefully they do anyways. I can't guarantee that. But we do have these free tickets. So you go for that free ticket poll. Moogles everywhere. Give me something I can trait right now for this video. That's not a 7-star, but let's just say that you got a 7-star out of this and it's a really good metal. You're like, whoa, I want to use that metal, but I have no traits for it. So let's grab this Donald over here and say I want some traits on it. You can now have the ability to put 5,000 jewels into the metal, negative 60 ground, extra attack, or negative 60 aerial, and you're good to go from there. And you only spent like 5 or 10,000 jewels and you have a powerful metal now. You don't have to go polling for all these brand new metals if you can properly trait a metal. I'm going to go into a quest and show you guys the difference of a metal with no negative 60 ground and a metal with negative 60 ground, and you guys can see how that big of a difference that one trait can make. Alright, so for the example I'm going to show you, I have two Aquas here, and they're very close to being exactly the same. The Aqua down here has 26,282 attack, and this one has 26,682 attack. This one has a plus 400 strength difference in it. So it's going to do a little bit more damage because of that, but not enough to actually show you that this doesn't work. So this Aqua, for her traits, she doesn't have negative 60 ground. I'm going to bring this Aqua in first right here. Into this slot, I'm going to buff it exactly the same. I'm going to buff the other one, attack the same enemy, and you guys can see how much damage that one trait makes. And that's going to be the difference to helping you pass the quest. You don't have to buy all those other traits. Yes, having perfect metals is great, but it's way too expensive. The two traits that matter for attacking metals is a negative 60 ground, negative 60 aerial, and then I would recommend extra attack only if you're doing damage to the metal. If you're enemy, if you're not doing damage to the enemy, then you need more plus 1,000s on that metal or increase your Keyblade subslots. Extra attack is way better than plus 1,000 as long as your metal is penetrating the enemy's defense, then you're totally fine. So let's jump in. Let's go face this ground single target enemy. So it's the one. I'm going to go for the full buffs here. It's going to be kind of choppy because I've been having issues with my computer lately. But here we go. Final Aqua over here to activate all this. And now, watch the numbers up there. So I'm going to put the battle speed down to 1. And we're going to activate Aqua here. Alright, Aqua's doing 2,200,000,000 without negative 60 ground. Alright, so this is the other Aqua with the negative 60 ground. We're going to activate. We have to beat 2,200,000,000. We are doing 2,369,000,000. That is a big difference right there, guys. If you look at Aqua, she does 3 hits. So she has an extra 169 million per hit. That's almost $500 million damage added onto the enemy because of negative 60 ground. Then from there, again, you increase your Keyblade subslots, you add plus 1000 traits or extra attack because you're doing damage to the enemy. But that's the difference. And sometimes that fluctuates. So that could have been the best 2,200,000,000 for the other medal, where it could have ranged from that or 2,160,000,000, and this probably could have went higher, like 2,000,000,004 something. There's like a range of, like, it's not really a crit system, but there is a range of medal will do different damage every single time. Either way, I did more damage because of that one trait. That one trait adds a lot to the game, and that is only a little bit, because when it comes down to it, when you face an enemy and you're only doing like not even a billion to it, because your medal doesn't have one of those negative 60s, you're going to see a bigger difference from there. Where this enemy's defense is not as high as the rest of the game, especially Coliseum, those traits make a big difference, especially in everything else. But I don't have any events to show you guys. But either way, the example here is that that one trait can change everything. So 5,000 jewels for the one trait, go for it. You don't have to make every medal perfect. You just got to give them the right traits for the right enemies. And that's the two traits I talk about the most, is negative 60 aerial and negative 60 ground. Once you have those on a medal, you're perfectly fine. And again, not every enemy is aerial and not every enemy is ground, so you don't have to purchase both right away. Only purchase as you go, because again, you can replace your Keyblade setup pretty quickly. So don't try to invest 25,000 jewels to make one medal perfect. I've been passing quests without the plus 1000s on this Aqua. Not even the special trait has 1000 or 2000. It's just those negative 60 aerial, ground, and extra attack. Those three medal traits are solid on medals. And again, for your buffer, if you only want to take up one slot for your buffer, there could be a new Kairi or Shion, but that's going to be way more expensive than an extra attack Kairi. Put extra attack on the Kairi or the Shion, and you won't regret it. Extra attack on the Kairi or Shion, throw second chance on there, and you only have one slot for a buffer plus reviver, and then you have all the rest here for pure attackers. Moogle shop, it's a little pricey, but when you look at it, it's a lot more money. It was a lot more money before to chase these traits, because you can roll traits 100 times and never see this extra attack. You can roll traits 100 times and never see this. And avatar boards for traits were 1,500 for what, 3 traits? I don't know if they have any right now, but they started doing that recently, and that was really nice. But again, that's RNG. I bought sometimes the whole set here, and I did that before for Lee and other medals, and I didn't get the traits I wanted, where I could have spent 5,000 and I'm out the door. Again, a lot of jewels doesn't add up quickly. Like, this is my main account. I don't buy VIP anymore, but 28,000 is all saved up. I had more than this, but I did my polls for one of the foretellers. Still got to roll RNG on there, but if I get negative 60 aerial and ground, then I won't buy any traits. I could buy extra attack, but if I'm passing the content, why go spend that 5,000 jewels when I can just keep saving my jewels for something else? As long as you're passing the content and you're not struggling, don't worry about PvP. Don't worry about Coliseum. Coliseum is great, but it only gives you a skill that comes out in avatar boards anyways. Yes, having free skill is great, but get that naturally. Don't try to spend a bunch of jewels just to get a skill when that same skill is going to be in here for 1,500 jewels and other ones along with it. These are older ones. That's a bad example. The one we're looking at is this one. It does have attack boost maxes in here, which you fight for inside of Coliseum. So don't try spending all your jewels for Coliseum or PvP, because again, PvP only gives you 1,000 jewels, where you're spending 5,000, 10,000, or 15,000 or more just to get 1,000 jewels. It's not really worth the trade-off. So just try to play smart, guys. Moogle shop is great. I think it's amazing. Like I said, if you have those free tickets and you get an amazing medal, you can trade it for 5,000, 10,000, and boom, cheaper than a mercy pull. 5 mercies, 15,000. Fallen price one is like 10,900. A VIP 10 mercies, 30,000. But if you get a medal that's on the meta, that's good. Like any of the tier 9 medals, the new tier 10 medals, even some tier 8 medals are really good. You guys just trade those medals and you're fine. Traits make the setup. The medals are just medals. Yeah, you might be like, oh, I spent 25,000 on this one medal. That one medal is going to be better than spending 30,000 for a mercy pull, and you didn't get one negative 60 ground or aerial. That tier 8 is now stronger. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. I'm choking up on my own words here. If you guys want to add anything down below, this will kind of just a quick brush up on how to use a Moogle shop, how to look at it in a different way, because all I can see is people are really upset about the non-money thing. I'm upset about that too, but not enough to be like, oh, because having traits that are not RNG anymore has me just rethinking how I'm going to play this game all over again. It's very refreshing, and it's nice to see that the game's not based off on RNG anymore, and it's about being playing smart with your jewels. Just play smart with it, guys. You guys should be okay. If you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.